The 32 things we learned from Week 9 of the 2024 NFL season. The number of combined receptions by 5 Houston Texans players, targeted 11 times, in Thursday night's 21-13 loss to the New York Jets. Perhaps the all-time ranking, and you'll undoubtedly have plenty of arguments here, of Jets WR Garrett Wilson's game-winning 26-yard TD grab against Houston. A little Michael Jordan, a little OBJ, a little luck getting that shin down inbounds on a play that wasn't initially ruled a catch. For it to even come up in that convo, I'm blessed, Wilson said afterward. I'm honored. 1A. The NYJ's number of wins now under interim HC Jeff Ulbrich. 1B. WR Devontae Adams' number of TDs with the Jets after he caught one against the Texans. 1C. At least the number of wide receivers Houston should consider acquiring after QB CJ Stroud, sacked 8 times by the Jets, looked helpless trying to pass the ball in an offense missing injured WRs Nico Collins and Stefon Diggs, who is out for the rest of the season with a torn ACL. As of Sunday afternoon's games, the number of days until the NFL's 2024 trade deadline expires, at 4 p.m. ET on Tuesday. While it seems like most of the prominent names on the block have already been moved, the Texans are one of those promising teams that nevertheless seem flawed by a particular positional issue. Desmond Ridder became the Las Vegas Raiders' third quarterback of the season Sunday, when Gardner Minshew was benched in a 41-24 loss to the Cincinnati Bengals. Recently signed off the Arizona Cardinals practice squad, Ridder passed for 74 yards and a TD in relief in the town where he was the beloved leader of the University of Cincinnati Bearcats. The number of sacks collected Sunday by Bengals DE Trey Hendrickson, a career high, allowed him to take over the league lead with 11. The number of touchdown passes thrown Sunday by Bengals QB Joe Burrow was the first time in his career he'd done that in a victorious effort. Cincinnati's Mike Gesicki caught 2 of Burrow's scoring strikes, the first time in his career he had a 100-yard receiving day and multiple scores. The number of wins for the NFC East leading Washington Commanders, their best 9-game start since 1996. Now, if they can only bolster that problematic secondary by Tuesday afternoon. WR Darius Slayton had 60 yards on 4 touches Sunday, again displaying how effective he might be in another uniform given the numbers he's posted for the Giants' largely inept offense. Could the Philadelphia Eagles be the latest team with a receiver need? The only team that poses a threat to Washington in the NFC East after outlasting the Jacksonville Jaguars 28-23 saw Pro Bowler A.J. Brown leave the game early with a knee injury. Eagles RB Saquon Barkley continues to be one of this year's best free agent signings. He went over 1,000 yards from scrimmage Sunday, adding another 199 to his tally, plus Man Up award to Rams veteran Demarcus Robinson, who caught a pair of TDs from QB Matthew Stafford, including the 39-yard game winner in OT against Seattle. Further props to the Rams' rookie-laden defense. Jared Verse and Braden Fisk combined for 3 sacks of Seattle's Geno Smith, while Cameron Kinchens swiped 2 interceptions. It was not a pretty loss for the Indianapolis Colts Sunday night, raising questions about how long erstwhile QB1 Anthony Richardson will ride the pine. The San Francisco 49ers and Pittsburgh Steelers were the only teams on bye in Week 9, yet those playoff hopefuls also seem to have serious depth issues at wideout. The number of wins by the Buffalo Bills' Sean McDermott in 17 career meetings with the Miami Dolphins since he became the head coach in 2017. The New England Patriots and Tennessee Titans showed admirable resilience Sunday, given neither team is going anywhere in 2024. With QB Dak Prescott and WR CeeDee Lamb banged up in Sunday's loss to the Atlanta Falcons, you wonder if Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones will be all out at some point as his underwhelming squad continues to sink toward the bottom of the NFC. Congratulations to the Carolina Panthers, who notched their first home win Sunday by beating the New Orleans Saints 23-22 while avenging a 47-10 Week 1 embarrassment. If Panthers RB Miles Sanders was hoping to show something to a potential suitor, he lost 5 yards on 2 carries. The Los Angeles Chargers allowed the most points in a game this year in a 27-10 defeat of the Browns in Cleveland. The Chargers became the 6th team since 1990 to surrender 20 or fewer points in their first 8 games of a season. Bolts QB Justin Herbert also passed for at least 275 yards for the 3rd straight week. Though the Browns didn't win, D.E. Myles Garrett registered a season-best 3 sacks. Per Next Gen Stats, Bo Nix's TD catch for the Denver Broncos was the most improbable by a quarterback in 6 years. However, Denver head coach Sean Payton probably would have preferred more touchdowns rather than being victimized by one of the Baltimore Ravens' best defensive performances in a 41-10 blowout. QB Lamar Jackson and RB Derrick Henry combined to generate 5 Ravens TDs, with Henry becoming the 5th player with 100 rushing touchdowns in his first 9 NFL seasons. Jackson had another near-flawless performance, achieving a perfect 158.3 passer rating. Unless the Detroit Lions' Jared Goff beats Jackson to the hardware, the NFC leaders are now 7-1, with Goff again being uber-efficient. Both Super Bowl hopefuls could use some help on defense, specifically at pass rusher. The teams, which used to share Chicago as a home, first met in 1920, when the Bears were known as the Decatur Staleys. It took over 100 years for these teams to be pelted by hail while playing in a stadium with a retractable roof that was inexplicably open Sunday. The Jets debuted their new black alternate uniforms on Thursday night.